So after beating Elden Ring and getting the Platinum Trophy, I can safely say Elden Ring is overrated garbage and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is a much better game. Sekiro was so unique, it was such a departure from the Souls series. We had never seen a From Software game like this ever before. Elden Ring, however, is literally just Dark Souls with a horse. Sekiro gave me a more focused, straightforward story that I enjoyed, and Elden Ring, however, it's literally just the same vague, confusing garbage like in every other Souls game. I put so many hours into Elden Ring and still have absolutely no idea what is going on or what any of it was for. I'm still just as confused as when I first started the game, and that's ridiculous. That should never happen. This was their chance to give us a more focused narrative. How do you get George R.R. Martin to work on the game and still give us this vague, confusing ass story where I have to piece stuff together myself? Last time I checked, it was the developer's job to tell a story, not mine. The story is there, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, come on. The story is there, man. You just have to look for it. Dumbest shit I've ever heard. Simply ridiculous. It's not my job. I'm not playing or building a goddamn puzzle. I'm not putting together a puzzle here. You tell the story. That's not up to me. The gameplay in Sekiro is much better than Elden Ring. It's not even funny. The Sekiro combat absolutely destroys Elden Ring's combat. I mean, you can't even argue this. If you do, you're a moron. It was so fast-paced in Sekiro and so fluid. I could swim. I could dive underwater. I could use a grappling hook to glide around. I could air assassinate people. I could fall off of a ledge and still survive, you know, if my health was high enough. Even if you just jumped off of a ledge that was high, you barely took any fall damage in Sekiro. I could climb. I mean, I could pretty much do everything in Sekiro. In Elden Ring, you can't swim, you drown. You fall off of an edge, you're insta-killed. Why the hell is this still a thing in 2022? This is outdated as hell. I mean, this has been happening since like the first Souls games. Like, get it out of here already. This makes no sense. How do they go backwards like this? What were they thinking? I can barely climb anything in Elden Ring without the damn horse, and even when you do, the horse controls are so clunky you fall off most of the time. The fall damage is so weird in Elden Ring. You'll like jump off of a ledge that's not even high, still get insta-killed, and when the horse dies, you insta-die too. It's just dumb. The fall damage in Elden Ring makes no sense. And the horse controls are trash. He practically dies from anything. You throw a rock at the damn horse, he'll fall off and he'll die. It makes no sense, man. The horse combat sucks. They give you a jump button in Elden Ring that's practically useless because you can't climb much. It's just dumb. It makes no sense. Not to mention Sekiro took actual skill to play. I had to master the tools that Sekiro provided me to even stand a chance in the game. Elden Ring, on the other hand, requires no skill whatsoever. The game is so casualized, it basically hands you the win. This is by far the most easiest casual dumbed down From Software game to date, which is why I laugh at these frauds when they say things like get good and stuff like that. You only hate Elden Ring because you're bad at it. No, the game doesn't even take skill. Like, how does a game where I can just farm and become over leveled, find some OP weapon, hide behind a shield like a coward, spam broken magic attacks that practically one-shot enemies, use summons and hide while they do all the work for me like a coward, hop online and get others to help me with a boss like a coward, spam cheap Ashes of War or weapon skills? How does that require skill? It doesn't. Bro, people are getting carried so damn hard in Elden Ring, it's ridiculous. It takes away any sense of accomplishment beating this game. Like I said, I beat the game multiple times. I got the Platinum Trophy. I still don't feel any sense of accomplishment because I'm looking at streams, I'm looking at videos of all these casuals that have never played a From Software game in their life, but they're still able to just breeze through Elden Ring. Why? Because they added all this cheap stuff. There's no accomplishment. There's no sense of honor from beating Elden Ring. Everybody's doing it because they added all this cheap stuff in the game. This game has the cheapest mechanics out of any From Software game. There's so much stuff here that just carries players. In Sekiro, there is no farming. I can only level up by either beating bosses or mini bosses. The game truly forces you to get good, as these pathetic Souls fanboys all say. I can't hide behind a shield in Sekiro like a coward. I can't find some OP weapon and just spam it in Sekiro like a coward. I only have one weapon and that's it. I can't use summons in Sekiro Sekiro and let them do all the work for me while I just hang back like a coward. I can't ask a friend for help online and have them come beat the boss for me in Sekiro. I can't go to an area in the game and just farm and level up and destroy everything, which is why when Sekiro first came out, Souls fanboys got absolutely bodied and then ran back to Dark Souls with their tails tucked between their legs. They didn't want no problems with Sekiro. They went right back to Dark Souls because Sekiro takes true skill. After playing Sekiro for so many times, I literally bodied every Dark Souls boss, no problem. It made me a better gamer. And speaking of bosses, the bosses in Sekiro are way better and more unique than Elden Ring. Sword Saint Ishin is one of the most iconic final bosses in From Software history. In Elden Ring, you fight the same damn bosses over and over again. Same dragons 50 times, same damn tree sentinel, rinse and repeat. The final boss in Elden Ring comes out of nowhere and it isn't even fun to fight. It's just cheap, like most of the bosses in Elden Ring. Sekiro's bosses were challenging but never felt unfair. Elden Ring, the bosses are all cheap. They have ridiculous hitboxes and attacks that can one-shot you regardless of your health. It's artificial difficulty at its finest. I dare somebody to say they have one Elden Ring boss that's super iconic that you can see yourself, oh, this was an amazing boss. They're terrible. There are no good bosses in Elden Ring. They all suck. They all suck. Its bosses that could have been cool have dumb attacks that make the fights not even fun to go back to. You know, in Sekiro, I wanted to learn the patterns of bosses, you know, figure out how I'm going to approach this time. And I had a great time doing it. Every time I died, it felt like it was my fault and I needed to adapt. In Elden Ring, it literally just feels like RNG. Like, oh, is this boss going to keep spamming the same one-hit kill attack this time or not? You never know. It's like bosses like Radahn and Melania are just stupid. There's no learning from fights like that. It's just, well, I hope I get lucky this round in Elden Ring. I hope I get lucky. I hope they don't do the one-shot move that'll just destroy my health bar, even though it's huge. I just wanted to get the bosses over with as fast as possible in Elden Ring because they were that bad. They just weren't fun. And I also prefer the linear world of Sekiro. The lore is better in Sekiro. Everything about the environments are better in Sekiro. In Elden Ring, you give us this open world. That's supposed to be the big saving point, the big thing. It's open world. But the open world is so boring and bland and lacks anything significant to do. You find some caves in Elden Ring, which are basically chalice dungeons from Bloodborne. You find a lever in those caves. You pull it open. The door opens. You fight a recycle boss that you already fought 50 times in the game. I don't know why they decided to add chalice dungeons from Bloodborne, one of the worst things about Bloodborne. I don't know. I don't understand that decision. And lastly, Sekiro had better graphics. Yeah, a game from 2019 looks better than a game from 2022. That's sad, isn't it? From Software really dropped the ball with Elden Ring, man. They really did. I don't know where all these 10 out of 10s are coming from. I really don't. It just goes to show hype. It's just as long as paid reviews are giving a game good scores, then all the sheep are going to flock to it and say it's a great game. If you say something negative about the game, you're just bad at it. But if you beat the game, then it becomes, well, why did you beat the game if you didn't like it? It's just, these people are just morons, bro. They really are. But if you've played both, Sekiro is easily the superior game. How could you argue? Hell, Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. Bloodborne! It's crazy, man. Like I said, if you disagree, if you think Elden Ring is the best From Software game they've ever made, it's clear that one, Elden Ring was your first From Software game, so you're just saying that by default, and two, you're just not a real gamer. You don't have real gaming in your body. You know nothing about real games. You're not a higher level thinker, you're a lower level thinker. I have absolutely no desire to ever play Elden Ring again. I'll be going back to Sekiro, a game that's truly superior and deserves its Game of the Year title, unlike Elden Ring.